out of our 1,460 days, we have used close to 50% of our time. We'll continue to count our days. We'll continue to know the essence of where we're governing. We'll continue to check ourselves on a daily basis. And we'll continue to ask ourselves, how will prosperity, how will people, how will the chosen ones that we've said we will serve, how will they judge us? And so that's why we'll continue to take reference that what you've given to us, we do not take it for granted. And so I'm excited today that another history is being made in Lagos State.
Agriculture is a universal language understood and practiced all over the world. Although the nature, forms, and systems which the practice takes differ from one clime to the other. Just like other professions or vocations, the practice of agriculture has evolved over the years, considering the rate of societal expansion, the birth of new technologies, and the dynamism of the nature of climate change, amongst others. As a matter of fact, several initiatives have been embraced in the area of agricultural practice in an attempt to continue to meet the food demands of the consuming public from time to time. One of these developments in agricultural practice over the years is the concept of urban agriculture or urban farming. This concept, which involves cultivating, processing, and distributing food in or around urban areas, came into being several centuries ago and have since been embraced by nations of the world as one of the measures to ensure food sustainability and security.
It's imperative that in trying to curb the shocks that our food systems are exposed to, urban farming would be one way of getting the ramp up in food production. Most of our areas are already urbanized, and what better way to get people eating healthy than them producing their foods themselves. So urban agriculture is actually the way to go for Lagos.
The current statistics of local food production in Lagos, with its population of over 22 million, is placed at 18% of the food demand. This implies that over 80% of the food needs of Lagosians are sourced from outside the state. This development can pose a serious threat to the state. A vivid example of this was when the Amalgamated Union of Foodstuffs and Cattle Dealers of Nigeria, AFCUDIN, blocked food supplies from the northern states for some days in February 2021. The experience during this period further underscores the fact that food security is the key to economic stability, poverty alleviation, and improved livelihood.
When they said they are not bringing food from the north again, I got so upset, very, very upset. Then I was searching through the internet and I found some people planting in sack. And most especially yam. If we are buying just one yam for 1,500, just one, and what is all this? If I can do it, let me give it a try. So I started. I bought sack, I bought yam. We started this, and all suddenly, this is what I have.
To this end, and in alignment with the Ministry of Agriculture's strategy plan to increase local food production by 40% by the year 2024, the concept of Urban Agriculture Program was conceived by Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority. As rightly defined by the Food Agriculture Organization FAO, urban agriculture is a form of agriculture practices within and around cities where there are challenges of limited resources such as land, water, energy, and labor. Lagos State, being a perfect example of a state confronted with the challenge of limited landmass, cannot but embrace this initiative of urban farming, considering the fact that it helps stimulate the local economy through job creation, income generation, and the growth of small businesses. More importantly, urban farming makes fresh food more affordable, just as it ensures sustainable food production in a climate-friendly manner.
It will minimize our buying something like tomatoes from the market, buying vegetable, eat the vegetable there. It's a question of just going there, then keeping our time. It makes us more prudent in time usage. We don't have to waste our time. We just go out there and buy what we want. Get what we want to get. And then it makes us, it helps us physically in our health-wise. We are blessed because we eat original things from the soil.
By the time you have vegetable, you have your oil, you have this, you can put your salt together, you can put your soup together. So these have been so very helpful, especially when one cannot get to the market.
Among others, Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority, LSADA, intends to promote backyard farming in the following areas of agriculture. 1. Crops: cucumber, tatashe, spring onions, okra, ginger, garlic, lemongrass, bitter leaf, scent leaf, basil. 2. Livestock: broilers, layers, noilers, and snailery. 3. Aquaculture: tilapia and catfish. And 4. Agro-processing: catfish and tilapia smoking, and so on. According to statistics, Lagos Metropolis requires 15 times its present size of 3,577 square kilometers to be able to feed her people on a sustainable basis, being the nation's largest urban area. Recently, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, during the formal launch of Lagos State 5-year Agricultural and Food Systems Roadmap, projected that the total investments in the agricultural sector in the state would run into $10 billion in the next 5 years. While the roadmap appears to be a plan for the next 5 years as a form of immediate strategy that would eventually metamorphose into the realization of the bigger picture, the Ministry of Agriculture, through the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority, LSADA, has started an advocacy on how residents of the state can embrace urban farming as a way or form of immediate response to the vision of food security in the state. Among others, Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority, LSADA, intends to promote backyard farming. Being an administration that is keen on food security for Lagos residents, the present leadership in the state is leaving no stone unturned in the realization of a state that is self-sufficient in terms of food production.
We can't say that because you are living within an estate that you have zero access or zero availability for practicing agriculture. We have a number of devices you can use. You can use your backyard as, no matter how small, even if you don't have any, if the whole compound is concreted, you can still do farming. How do you do this? Get used tires, put them at the back of your building or within your premises, fill them with topsoil. You can plant your vegetable, be it leafy vegetable or fruit vegetable. You can buy tanks, big tanks, to rear your fish, catfish, you can do it very well within your backyard. You will still be home, and you can still be regarded as somebody participating within the value chain of agriculture.
At this critical time of our economy that we're experiencing a lot of problems, people can engage in urban farming. People that are living in the city, we shouldn't leave everything for those people that are living in the rural areas. There are certain little farming, if you bring in techniques that we can do within our compound without interfering on other people's peace, and at least such also will go a long way to solve the problem of food crisis. Because I believe if care is not taken with what is happening in our country, very soon we'll be having a serious crisis on our hand concerning shortage of foods and the likes.
Being an agency under the Ministry of Agriculture, LSADA has the mandate to increase productivity and income of farmers and fishermen in the state through effective extension services delivery, as well as liaise between research institutions on farmers' problems.
Feeding the mouths of over 22 million people, probably approximately 23 million Lagosians, is no joke. Ensuring food security in Lagos State is not something we take with levity. We do have the extension agents, and to the best of my ability and to the best of my knowledge, they are doing above par. Probably that will lay credence to the fact that the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority was adjudged as the best agricultural development project.
The agency identified the need to bridge the existing gap towards the realization of deployment of urban farming initiatives to developed areas of the state where there are no arable land for farming. The importance of this urban farming initiative cannot be overemphasized, considering the fact that the little available land for agricultural purposes in Lagos State is daily being threatened by urbanization and growing accommodation needs for the over 20 million inhabitants of this great state. Several other urban farmers in different parts of the state shared their experiences on urban farming.
I started a long time ago. That time I was planting yam. But planting yam, making ridges. But later on, I got this idea of planting yam in sacks, and that is what I'm now having. I did it plenty, about 65 sacks. But these are the ones that germinated. So these are the remaining sacks that I removed when the thing did not sprout out. But the ones that germinated are these ones. So I've learned a lesson. What was responsible for that, I now know. So by this year, I will plant again. And I hope to plant even more than the 65 sacks that I did originally.
This crop of farmers are very passionate about urban farming, considering the ripple effects they have derived from the practice. Another aspect of urban farming is aquaculture. What you eat is what you become.
I always care about whatever that goes into my stomach. So that is one of the reasons why I go into organic. So as a urban farmer, I don't want us to believe until we get to that outside or maybe farm or whatever. We can start anywhere we find ourselves. COVID boxed me out of poultry last year. So I dive into processing. And instead of me letting go of my rabbit farming also, I have to look for something, how I can do it, how I can start. Because the truth is we just have to keep going no matter what.
In fact, everyone that has a little space to engage in urban farming, so the little you produce, at least it's bridge a gap. So the little you produce, not only your own family, even if you have the intention of feeding your own family alone, and by the time you produce, let's first for instance now, just 500 pieces of fish, you produce it to table size. You discover that you cannot take 30% of it. The 70% will still generate income for you, even if you are doing other businesses or you are doing other jobs. You can still engage in urban farming, then it will boost your income.
Some years back, like 10 years ago, we are into rearing of fishes, and somebody introduced us that we should do this processing machine, which then is not working because I'm a bag maker. So it's not working then. Look for customers there and there. The thing is not coming well as we think that will come. So later, it started picking up. And the way people are coming to buy, I process and sell to retail. And the way people are buying it and taking it out, and I see that it's like this one is better than the bag that I'm into.
As rightly posited by the United Nations, that there will be approximately 10 billion people on our planet by the year 2050, with some 2/3 living in cities, the world's arable land per capita is likely to shrink by 20% over that same period due to increasing climate change and advancing erosion. In view of this, several innovative solutions are needed to feed more people while using less land. This underscores the indispensability of urban farming, which is believed to be one of the available solutions to ensure food security in the face of this development. It should, however, be noted that as climate change and a growing global population continue to raise the stakes for our food system, urban farming is emerging as one of the many complementary solutions in our collective pursuit of sustainability and food security in Lagos State.
When I come up in farming this, I can see that the thing is okay for me. I'm using it, I eat out of it, and I sell out of it also. It's good. I can encourage those people outside that have land wasted without using it to use it to farm.
Among other benefits, urban agriculture increases access to healthy, affordable, fresh produce and provides communities with opportunities to learn about nutrition and growing food. Hence, the need for residents of this great state to embrace this practice and make it a sustainable venture. Embracing this initiative, to say the least, portends great prospects for Lagosians and will accelerate the journey towards a greater Lagos that is self-sufficient in food production. For us in Lagos State, we say a big yes to urban farming. Cultivating what we eat by ourselves is the way to go.
Hi, my name is Alabiro Timi, and I'm encouraging everybody to embrace urban farming in Lagos. I say yes to it. It's a very good policy.
Èmi Christiana Edward ọmọbìnrin, mo fi ohùn tẹ̀lé, mo fọwọ́ sọ̀yà fún iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ní ìlú Èkó.
I, Ola Matthias, say yes to urban farming in Lagos.
I, Mr. Andrew, supported urban farming in Lagos City.
I, Dr. Olalekan Perura-Shetelu, hereby ascertain that the way to go is Lagos State urban agriculture. Right there, start doing something now.
I say big yes to urban farming in Lagos State.
I, Abisola Olusoya, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture, Lagos State, say yes, not just a yes, I say a very big yes to urban agriculture, to urban farming, to urban food production in our Lagos State, our city, our state, our future, our everything.